Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV. Gonna be casting a game between Grubby and DropZone. It is a TVP on Shakuras, Plateau, and Grubby laying down the mana. Good luck and have fun, sir. No acronyms for you because Grubby, he cares. He is the Sheth equivalent on EU in terms of mana, and DropZone, no clue who this guy is, but he is playing up against Grubby, who is consistently top 50 of EU, which means DropZone has to be pretty good. And I don't really have too much for that intro, so we'll go straight into some analysis. The Tan player generally will dictate how the opening does go, because Protoss, he does scout first, either after the pylon or the gateway. And depending on what the Protoss does see Tan player do, will change how he does his build. Tan generally will do 3 openers on Shakuras Plateau against Protoss. It's going to be the 1 Rax expand, which probably is the most common, in which the Protoss generally will go for 1 gate expand. Then the Tan player can also go for a 2 Rax pressure build, in which Protoss will go for a 2 gate expand or a 1 gate robo. And then Tan can also go for a 1-1-1, in which the Protoss will do something funky. It's all how they love defending against the 1-1-1. On Shakuras Plateau, it is going to be a cloaked Banshee variant, so I think Blink Stalkers are the way to go, with, of course, an Observer, because Banshees do cloak. Grubby is going to be scouting after 13 gate, and I don't know if I agree with that, because if the Tan player is doing like a 2 Rax, or basically if the Tan player just wants to wall off his base, he will do it if Protoss does not scout him first. If Grubby does go all the way up here, DropZone does have a chance to wall off his base before Grubby does get in, which forces Grubby to go into a 1 gate robo build. If he wants to play safe, get the Observer out, see exactly what DropZone is up to. But Grubby is going to come in, he is going to go to this mineral line, and soon as Grubby sees this orbital command morphing, that's when he should try to count the SCVs, see how many mining, how you count SCVs the easiest way I have found, just ignore any mining pair. So we don't have this, and what this does leave us with is 2 SCVs. And that means, okay, they're going to have 14 SCVs. Basically, if you scout an even number of SCVs mining alone, that's going to mean they have 14 SCVs mining. And then, of course, the 1 SCV to build a supply depot, so that equates to 15 SCVs. There's none going out around the map, building anything, hiding a barracks on you. If you scout an odd number of workers mining alone, that's when you have to start worrying and be like, okay, you're missing 1 SCV. Chances are there's a barracks going up somewhere, and you should go for a 2 gate expand just so you can defend against that. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to be doing more analysis later on. Not in this cast, but maybe at the beginning of this cast we'll go talk about that. But I will do some analysis, kind of like Otosis does, just to explain it all. So right now, Grubby is going to be sending out his Zealot. He did go for, looks like he is going to be doing something definitely odd. Going to be going straight for a Twilight Council. Knowing Grubby, he's going to be going for Blink Stalkers just because Grubby loves the micro coming from a Warcraft 3 background. The probe is going to come up. He sees 4 Marines. I don't know what this Zealot is thinking. He cannot take on 4 Marines. Even 2 is too much for him, so the Zealot is going to be backing off. He does force DropZone to build a bunker, though. In the meantime, DropZone is going to be getting 2 more barracks, so this does mean, okay, he may be concerned about some type of gate all-in, like 5 gate after, or maybe 6 gate or 7 gate. That's what he's concerned about, just Grubby putting pressure on, so he goes to a 3 barracks with a bunker. And if he doesn't see any aggression from Grubby, that's when he's going to be moving out to see exactly what Grubby is doing. We do have a Dark Shine going up for Grubby, and the big tell for this is he's not going to really have any sentries. Grubby, it doesn't really have any gas in terms of his army because that Dark Shine does cost, I believe, 250. And this Robo Facility is going to cost another 100. So at max, Grubby's going to have like 1 to 2 sentries when DropZone decides to move out. And that should be enough to tell him, okay, you're missing a lot of gas. Holy cow, your army has absolutely no gas. There's something up. And even if you get a Robo Facility, that's only 100 gas. So they got to be thinking, okay, it's going to be some crazy Blink Stalker all in. But he sees the Nexus. So that will probably lead him to the fact that it is DTs. And Grubby's probe does go in hiding, goes all the way up there. We do have a forward pylon out for Grubby. DropZone, of course, has not scouted at all yet. and this is buying Grubby some very much needed time. Does have a Warp Prism coming out, which will make those DTs even more effective. We have the Engineering Bay being built around, he starts at 6:30 just to defend against DTs. It looks like he has that timing down as Grubby is morphing in DTs right now somewhere up at that one forward pylon. We do have the Marines going to be coming in. We'll see just one sentry and a Zealot, and he sees also that the Nexus is not really mining, so this definitely has to tell him, okay, something is definitely up. He is going to come up here, see the one Zealot, the one sentry, nothing out of this robo facility, and he's definitely going to know Grubby is up to something. We'll see a missile turret get built right now. He does think it is going to be DTs. He hasn't seen this just yet. Grubby is hiding it. The wall was probably up and the DT couldn't get in, but we do have a drop with 2 DTs. And a missile turret is also going up by the main mineral line. So drop zone is going to be very well defended against this. Splitting up the DTs, just leaving one idle up here. This DT is going to be getting so for 2-3 kills. And this DT is going to go get 1 kill. And now he's working on the supply depots. Not sure why. Does get scanned. And we have this one DT still trying to get in, but sees the wall with a bunker. Does have an observer coming. And that Warp Prism, of course, still alive, so Grubby is going to be picking up this DT. And those Marines did get dealt with. It looks like the sentry dealt that killing blow. And Grubby is going to be coming in with this one DT. Try to go back in the mineral line. This missile turret, of course, does spot the whole mineral line, so I don't know what he's going to be accomplishing. Maybe he's going to try to sneak all the way around here. That looks like what he's going to be doing and try to go into this mineral line. It looks like he may be able to get these 2 patches without being seen from that missile turret. An observer coming in, just getting the scouting on to see where that Warp Prism can go and drop off the DTs. Meanwhile, Grubby is going to be getting a Templar Archives and going to be going straight into High Templars with Storm most likely, or could be going into Archons. One DT is just going to be attacking this one starport, force a scan to go down, and the Warp Prism just hanging out. He is containing Drop Zone into his base, which makes it safe for Grubby to go into this Temple Archives to get the Storm. If Drop Zone decides to move out, well, DTs will ravish his base. Grubby going to be morphing in another DT. Puts it into the Warp Prism. Now he's going to be trying to drop it somewhere. The Warp Observer right here, so it looks like he has found a spot where he wants to drop that one DT off. And as long as Grubby keeps this up, well, Drop Zone's not going to be moving out, which means Grubby is going to have that Storm. But he is losing a lot of his army with this one DT. It looks like he is going to be backing off to keep that alive. But going into this loss tab, well, Grubby, he hasn't lost all that much. The army supply, though, tells a different story. 21-37. And Drop Zone does have +1 attack. Grubby not going to have any upgrades. And he's going to be so Zealot heavy. Oh my god, no Stalkers whatsoever. So he is going to be able to be kited by Drop Zone. If Drop Zone decides to move out, it's all going to come down to the force fields. But we only have one sentry. He does have near maxed energy, but he is going to go down really quick. Only has shields, 4 HP. And Drop Zone moving out. And Grubby, where's that Warp Prism all the way up here? Just looking for any ninja base. In this one, the DTs have to go back in. Drop Zone, of course, leaving units by his missile turrets. Grubby could drop a DT here and get some kills. Drop Zone looks like he's going to be attacking at 2 different fronts. Grubby, of course, does have Storm, and he has enough energy on this one Templar. And these Templars do have Storms as well, so Grubby going to be dealing with this drop by 1 Storm. Maybe he didn't have enough energy, and oh my god, an Artosis Pylon. 3 gates in that Robo powered by it. Now we do have Drop Zone going in right there as Grubby tries to deal with this with his Zealot Immortal Army. Of course, he was getting kited until he got up to this wall, and Drop Zone making a mistake not lifting up. But he is going to be taking out this one Nexus. Grubby is going to be taking a Ninja Expo all the way in the top here. And Drop Zone made a huge mistake. Once he got up against this wall, he should have picked up in the dropship and started dropping down here, getting a few hits on the Zealots for free. Drop Zone is going to stem away, very happy with that 1 kill. Goes up into the medevacs and is going to be retreating. And Grubby, he does have a few High Templars up. That is a big probe transfer. Scan does go down, spots that transfer, and now Drop Zone is going to know, okay, there's a base going on up here. It's not done just yet. but DropZone should be doing a drop at that base relatively soon. The thing he has to be cautious about is there's high Templars out, and he can't let dropships get feedbacked when they have above 150 energy. So any dropships that do have above 150 before doing a drop should stim units, let the dropship heal the units before he goes out to do a drop, but he is going to be happy with his third base. Going to the worker tab, it is 58 SCVs versus 47 probes, which probably means DropZone is around 2k minerals on the income. Exactly 2k. Man, am I good at that. And 480 on the gas. We do have the one probe on this one watchtower, and DropZone is going to be taking it out, and Grubby knows where the enemy is and does have more High Templars and Zealots. Is he getting charge? Yes, he does have charge, so that will work into Grubby's favor, but there are a lot of Marauders that can kite those Zealots. It's all going to come down to the Storms of Grubby. He does throw one off, and there's another one, and another one. Grubby does not miss Storms, and he has enough for one more Storm right now. DropZone, for some reason, not going up into the Ghost Tech just yet, and generally whenever you see High Templars, you got to get Ghost out immediately. DropZone just going to be doing a drop up here. The Medevac's all below 150 energy, so he's not too concerned about feedback, but Grubby is going to morph a DT and a Zealot. That is a factory floating in that base. And DropZone just healing up. He will be going in any minute now. Grubby sitting at the natural, defending that. And here we go. The DT does come. He is going to get a few kills, but the scan does go down. This Nexus is going to be falling, and Grubby going to try to save all of his probes. And that is the key unit. This Urkon going up alone. And that is one ballsy Urkon, and he will be retreating now. And the Zealots do come, form a kind of a wall, and that Urkon does live with 10 HP. 2 more hits, and that thing would have went down. He is going to take out a dropship. Maybe too, if he gets this one, he'll actually get units. But no units go down again. That is the factory above the natural. Grubby morphing in a few Zealots and DTs to go harass this third base. Grubby's upgrades are at 0-0, while DropZone, he is at 1-1, working on that 2-2. Grubby now getting +1 armor, is going to be moving out with a handful of units. And I'm waiting for Grubby to come in here. Maybe he's waiting for Storm so he can storm that mineral line and get a lot of worker kills. It is 13 SCVs killed to the 18. And these handful of units will be going down. Or not, he does get away. That is the problem with not having any Stalkers. The Tan player can stim and kite you all day. Forward pylon is going to be going down, which turns Grubby's supply upside down, but he is going to be losing units soon as he is engaging, and a Storm does go down on that mineral line, taking out even more workers. The Storm goes down on that bio. I mean, they are bathing in that Storm. It's bathing some more, and it's not good for them. This command center does fall, but at the same time, DropZone is going to come, takes out this pylon, which stops Grubby's reinforcements, and now he should be tugging down this Nexus, taking that out. Grubby will be on just one base, while DropZone is going to be on 2 bases. But the income's not going to be too different. In gas, it will be, because DropZone's almost mined out of these mineral patches. His natural, he's going to be mining off this. Grubby, he's going to be just fine on his main, and his natural going to be just fine because he's lost his base so much. This base hasn't had too much mining. The income should be relatively even. Well, it is 2 base to 2 base, but Grubby may actually be higher once all these probes do get on. And Grubby, yes, slightly higher. The worker tab, 52 to 55. Grubby not getting this. Okay, there he goes, putting probes on that gas. He wasn't for some time. And he is working on his weapon upgrade now. He is at 0-1. While the DropZone, he is at 1-1. We do have more High Templars being morphed. Grubby has 6 High Templars out on the field. This one Stalker is going to go down. The only Stalker Grubby builds. Oh, no, he's got 3 more back here. Okay, not too bad. And those Templars going to come out and get Storms. We do have Ghost in this army, but a DT is there to give some scouting information. Storm killing that one Ghost. That is a little bit odd. He did feedback, weaken up the Ghost. The Ghost barely just lived, so he storms it to go for that kill. And DropZone units are at relatively good health. Those medevacs are completely depleted of energy. Going in this army tab, DropZone does have about 20 more supply, but Grubby has so much gas within his army going into this. He's at 2k gas in his army, which is definitely scary for any bio army. That is a lot of Storms that Grubby can lay down. Few Marauders coming up, but you can see the Storm doing quite a bit. They are all in the deep red. Grubby doesn't want to move these forces just yet. Throwing a Storm, just making sure Drop Zone does not go and engage. And Grubby could be losing this Nexus. He will be coming in relatively soon, setting up that concave. Few Marauders coming in, turning down this Nexus, and here we go. Grubby is going to be going in. We will have feedbacks and Storms. Drop Zone forced to kite back this Nexus, not going down, it looks like. And another Storm, and Drop Zone taking the full front of the Storm. And Grubby looks like he will possibly be able to hold on with this next wave of Warpins. Doesn't have another Storm ready. But these two Immortals just racking up the kills. Pure Marauders left for Drop Zone. And with those probes acting as a shield and the Immortals killing all the Immortals, Grubby does hold on. He is on 3 bases to Drop Zone's, well, just now on 3 bases. So there's 3 base to 3 base, 77 supply to 115 supply. And in terms of the army, Grubby at 25, Drop Zone at 56. So Drop Zone could probably take out this 3rd base if he wanted to. Does he know about it? No, he does not. But Grubby just does not have an army right now. And he doesn't really have too much energy, I think. He'll have enough for 3 Storms when Drop Zone does come. So he'll have just barely enough. A DT coming in, trying to get as many kills as he can. Does get 3 SCVs and backs off. The EMP does go down, showing the DT getting the killing blow. Grubby with his Observer just looking for any ninja expansions right now. And the longer Drop Zone does wait, the bigger advantage Grubby will have because he is heavy on these High Templars. And if he ever gets to the point where those High Templars have 150 energy on them, that's going to be a very bad putt for Drop Zone because that's going to be so many Storms or feedbacks and Storms. But it looks like he is going to be doing a big drop because his medevacs is so depleted, he doesn't even have to worry about feedbacks. Just going to be 2 dropships to take out this one Nexus. Did he throw a scan to see that? Nope. Just assumes it may be there, so he is going to be dropping the units outside of vision, then stepping in to go and kill that Nexus. Grubby starting on his +2 armor. Drop Zone should still be at 2-2. Scan goes down to kill the Observer, and Drop Zone completely ignores that expansion up there, not even scouting for that. Gonna be taking out this Nexus. Grubby bringing his forces to deal with this. The Nexus is gonna be falling, but Grubby doesn't lose any probes there and has another Nexus to just transfer them to. So he's not gonna really lose any mining time if the probes do go to that one Nexus. The medevacs do get away. We do have a Warp Prism with a few High Templars. Looks like he is gonna be storming. 28 worker kills to 31. And Drop Zone on 3 bases. Grubby going to be on 3 bases. Even though he's losing these bases left and right, he's not losing any probes, which is the big key thing. And Big Stim goes down, and those High Templars don't have enough energy to storm. 3 HTs go down for free, and Grubby is going to be losing another Nexus, and that will put him very far behind on the Econ. And looks like that does go down. Grubby has to decide if he's going to attack, when he's going to attack this army. He's got to attack it because, well, he's going to be in for a base race, and it's never smart to trade against a Terran player because the Terran, they can just float and force a stalemate. So many Storms going down, though, and that Bioforce is severely weakened. Another Storm goes out, and the Bio all in the deep red. These Archons could just go and maul those units down, and he does clean that up. Does deal with it very well, but we have this Bioforce should be going up to this top base and taking out that Nexus. And it looks like he is going to go up there and see what is cracking there. This one High Templar does have 134 energy, so he can throw down a scan. He may be waiting for a 150, so he can get 2 scans. And Grubby looks like he may be losing this one base, but Drop Zone is losing a lot of his army. Grubby's going to have to use 0 energy to take out these units, and the army is going to be 60 for Grubby, 39 for Drop Zone, and the High Templars should have energy to storm. How many does he have out on the field? 4 High Templars out. Storm going down on that middle line. Looks like the High Templar got 11 SCV kills, 87 to 97. Grubby going to be getting this natural back up, and he's still going to be mining off of 1 base, so the Econ is going to be pretty much the same because Drop Zone has completely mined out. And this is why sniping bases doesn't always get you ahead. You have to kill the workers because they have another base going up. Well, their income's just going to go back to normal. Army tab. Looks like Drop Zone has caught up. Grubby has a lot of Archons. There's Ghost Now going down, he has one ghost left, and I don't even know where that is. Where is that ghost? Okay, right here. Has enough energy for 1 EMP, but there are 4 Archons out, soon to be 5, and that is a lot of Archons. That Bioforce is definitely going to be in trouble. Looks like Grubby, no, he hasn't given up on the Storms. Does have a few more High Templars, and looks like he is going to be trying to go for some type of engagement. He hasn't tried to take another base just yet, and he's still mining off his main base with 2 mineral patches. And DropZone, he is at 2-2. Grubby is at 1-2. And he is going to be trying to take out this one base, but only 1 Zealot is going to be the casualty of 3 Zealots there. And something went up in a Warp Prism, it looked like. I heard something. Oh no, those Zealots went up in a Warp Prism. Very nice move for Grubby, keeping those things alive, and does have a Zealot taking out this base. The DT does come to join the party, and this base is no longer going to be able to mine. And Grubby will still be on equal mining, and with this 3rd base going up, he may actually pull ahead in terms of the income. But right now, we do have DropZone with the larger army, 89-76. Zealot taking out a lot of SEVs, and now 1 Zealot goes down, 2 Zealots, and looks like it will be 3 Zealots that do fall. Ghost does get fed back and goes down, but the High Templar does sacrifice himself for ire. But taking out those ghosts is such a big deal. If he can get engaged in army without any ghosts, Grubby should have no problem killing this bio army. The weakness to bio is gas, and Grubby, his army composition is almost pure gas. 2/3 of his army is gas, and that is so much. Bio will trade very evenly with mineral-heavy armies, but once they get a lot of gas, the bio does not become nearly as effective. And looks like DropZone is going to come and take out Grubby's natural yet again. Another Nexus will be going down. And now DropZone will have the high ground with these ghosts, which makes it very hard for Grubby to engage. Because if Grubby wants to engage, he's got to clump up on this ramp. And these Marauders just act like a force field, slowing everything, which means Grubby can't go up in this ramp. Just look at the concave DropZone did get into. Grubby cannot engage this army, but it looks like he's going to try to. All his units out of shields right now. So many good EMPs have gone down. Just look at those Zealots. And looks like Grubby is going to be going for the base race because he knows he cannot go up here. Has 1 DT, taking out what he can. He is up to 3 kills. The scan does go down, finishes off that DT. But Grubby has no production anywhere on the map right now. So this is it for Grubby. We have a big-time base trade. The command center is going to be lifting up. And we don't have any army for DropZone. He'll be lucky if he can kill anything, and Grubby losing that Archon is a big mistake to just that handful of units. Does Grubby have any high temples? It looks like yes, he does have 4. I don't know where they are. There's Zealots going up on the high ground, giving the vision. There's Marauders very much dead. And it looks like, yeah, we definitely do have a base race. And we do have 1 probe coming out for Grubby. He is going to go up to 400 minerals so we can build a Nexus somewhere. And all the command centers are floating. So if every command center does float, then Grubby is going to be able to take out the army of DropZone. So as long as he can keep a Nexus alive with at least 1 probe or 50 minerals, Grubby has a chance, because DropZone, he can't defend against the DT. Storm is going down. We have the Templar on the high ground. Does have another Templar here. And another Storm should be going down, but only 4 units go up that ramp to take out the High Templar. He does get a Storm, killing 1 unit, injuring a lot. Those medevacs don't have any energy whatsoever. And DropZone doing a nice job at keeping a few units just so he can deal with those High Templars. Storm does go down, morphing into an Archon. And it doesn't look like the Archon will get a chance to see the light of day. Grubby, though, still has 1 DT out. We do have DropZone landing a Mule, and he cannot Mule at this point. Well, I guess he has to because he doesn't have 50 minerals. Needs to be able to build an SCV, but he is heavily, heavily supply capped. But, I mean, all Grubby has to do is get 1 DT, and I guess he has Ghost to EMP the DTs. So Grubby has to take out those 2 Ghosts, and then there will be no chance for DropZone to see the DTs. Or I should say the DT. But it looks like Grubby is going to be defending his one Nexus. But DropZone, well, he's a little bit SOL. Because he can't build any SCVs, which means he can't build supply depots, which means he's permanently going to be supply capped. So this is his army for the rest of the game. Unless he loses the army so he can build SCVs, but if he loses the army, then Grubby gets an army. So he can't really just mine. So dropping that mule was a little bit stupid, needed save up for the scan. But DropZone has no chance to mine anymore in this game. And Grubby, he just has to hold this top position. Does have the high templar in the warp prism, so it cannot get sniped or feedbacked. And this ghost does not go down. The DT almost takes it. But if Grubby does throw a storm, the ghost will fall. There are 2 ghosts, however. And they have enough to throw down 4 EMPs. Grubby is going to be eating his own storm right there. And now the ghost does drop, gets a killer storm off. And EMPs do go down, but they miss those Archons. And it looks like Grubby is going to be able to take this game after that huge base trade. Oh man, what a marvelous game coming down to the wire. DropZone, congratulations again for playing Protoss. Grubby laughing out that, maybe asking him how is the weather, as that is a popular Grubby meme now. What a spectacular game. I enjoyed casting that thoroughly. But as I said, let's go back to the very beginning. Because this is going to... Counting workers sounds like it's so hard to do, but in reality, it is relatively easy. So Grubby's going to come in here. And we'll wait for that orbital command to start. There we go. Orbital command does start. The probe needs to go back into the mineral line. So he does. We'll pause it right here. Actually, this is a better spot. So, just count all the pairs of SCVs. You got 2. There's one, this mineral patch. Then you got these 2. Got these 2. Then you got these 4. This equates to 12 SCVs. Which means these 2 are going to be mining. I messed up right there. It's hard to do it when it is paused. But this is going to be 14 SCVs. We do see 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. When it's playing, it's a little bit easier because when it's frozen, you can't really see those SCVs stacked up. But let's see. Let's try it again. 2. Actually, I think I just messed up my box. That one's alone. No, this is the one with 2. 2, 2, 2, 2. And 2. It's impossible to do when this game is stopped. There's 2 SCVs alone. I can't really see it. I think it's going to be... Yeah, it's this one and this one. As I don't have that one clicked. I thought I had this one clicked, but I don't. So that is basically how you do it. Just look at all the SCVs on pairs, and then look at the ones not on pairs. It is going to be these 2, and generally, it is going to be the patches further away. So I should have just said, okay, let's look at the 2 worst mineral patches. These 2. Do they have 1 SCV? Yes, they do. Okay. That's how you tell. If you see a mineral patch idle, and you can't find any single SCVs, that means, okay, every mineral patch has a pair, and they have 14 SCVs. They have 7 pairs. But if you see one mineral patch empty, and one SCV mining by himself, you know, okay, you got 13 SCVs here. One, of course, is building. That's going to be the 14th. And then you have the extra one that's going to be out. I hope that makes sense. It's really hard to explain that. And I know I just made it sound so hard when I messed up counting these SCVs. But trust me, once you play about 30 games and start focusing on that, it'll become second nature to you. And again, it's a lot easier when SCVs are actually mining. But we'll go into SC2 gears, as that was my segue into opening up this replay. And looks like, yes, we do have this up. We can look at the minerals mine. You can see DropZone mining way more than Grubby, but Grubby mining a little bit more gas. Grubby mining around 2K more gas. DropZone mining around 6K more minerals. And this whole game, I think, came down to DropZone not killing Grubby's probes. It looked bad because Grubby kept losing bases left and right. But whenever Grubby lost a base, he had another base building. So he just transferred all the probes to the base that was building and didn't really lose any mining time because he didn't lose that many probes. The probe kill count was about even to what Grubby killed in SCVs with his DTs. Going over into the unit tiers, we can't really make too much of this. This was a little bit of a wonky game. I've never seen a Protoss player just play like Grubby did that game and pretty much go DT contain into mass high Templar. That was definitely a little bit odd. So we didn't talk about that too much. But this unit, not unit tiers, build tech and strat, this will be a really fun thing to talk about. 12 EMPs, 23 snipes, 49 stims, 22 scans, 30 mules. Grubby, 19 Urkon morphs, which means he had to build at least 38 High Templars to morph all those. 20 feedbacks, 36 storms. He almost stormed as much as the 10 players stemmed. That is a lot of storms. One warp force field. The warp prism was very active. 14 transport modes, 13 phasing modes. Which means the warp prism died. No, it didn't die once in phasing. That is pretty amazing. But maybe it did. I'm brain dead right now, I can't think. We do have 10 upgrades to warp gates, 46 different chrono boosts. So we'll go into the units and just see. 19 Ghosts, 15 Medevacs, 102 Marauders, 178 Marines, 93 SCVs, 46 High Templars, 3 Immortals, 12 DTs, 111 Zealots, only 9 Stalkers, and 94 Probes. 46 High Templars. That is a lot of Templars. Grubby. I was going to make a joke, but it's inappropriate. Just say it goes on the same borderline as Terrans using stims as drugs. But, yeah, that'll pretty much be the cast. APM, I didn't go over that. Grubby, macro APM 24. Micro APM 98. We have DropZone 56 macro, 123 micro. Grubby with a 24% redundancy. DropZone with a 41%. EAPM for Grubby 92. DropZone 104. Both players very equal on EAPM. Spam APM 122 to 180. And that will conclude my cast. Take care. And I will see you tomorrow. Actually, we'll be going in. And you can just look at the SCVs real quick. See if you can count them. Just pay attention to that. We'll go in normal speed. So just look at where those SCVs are mining alone. And generally, you want to look at those 2 far mineral patches. So which mining patches are alone right now? Okay, that probe did attack. Okay, which ones are alone? I'm going to pause it and go right to it. You have this one. And this one. Hold control. These 2 are alone. Pair, 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 pair. See how easy that is? So let's go back. Let's see if I can stop it on different patches. Okay, you got 3 SCVs, so you're going to have 1 pair. He pulled 3 SCVs to attack your probe, which means there's only going to be 1 lone SCV. Can you spot it? Yes, you can. It is right there. How easy is that? And that tells you 14 SCVs in the mineral line. Means 1, of course, is building. That's normal. And then, of course, you got 1. Well, you don't have 1. But in case you count in 13, then you have 1 elsewhere. Building a barrack somewhere, most likely. Proxying that or doing a Mako axe over here. Just know, don't do a 1-gate expand if you count 13 SCVs. If you found that helpful, let me know in the comments. Please let me know if you found it helpful, and based upon how many people leave me comments saying, oh, I did not know that, that is a lot easier, or that is extremely hard, you are unique, I don't know what you are smoking, or something along those lines. So, yeah, let me know, and if you guys find my little tips helpful or unique, I will do more of them throughout my cast and try to make you a better gamer. And that will conclude my cast. Take care, guys.